The ordinary investor needs the opportunity to invest in the companies that I've saw today.
Welcome, Ron. It's great. It's an honor having you here at our 6th Summit.
It's an honor to be here. This is amazing. I did not even envision this. This is amazing.
And thank you. I know you weren't expecting this, but in preparation for this, we found a video of you last year. You're receiving a recognition, but we think actually it really conveys who you are and why you're such a strong leader. Video.
Do not wake up and feel that the world is unfair, because it is unfair in many ways. But you can make a difference. We were not a wealthy family. My dad worked 3, 4 jobs. I mowed lawns, I bussed tables, and I sold shoes. The golden rule is something that I live my life by. The golden rule in its most traditional form is to treat others as you would like to be treated. I believe that you modify it a little bit. I want to understand how you want to be treated, not how I would want to be treated. And that is a skill set that they don't teach, but that's something that you can live your life by.
Wow. So you're really not a typical Wall Street CEO.
Could you send that to my kids and grandkids?
Of course.
Thank you. That was nice, thank you.
But you're clearly not a typical CEO, Wall Street CEO.
You know, I think that I probably not, but it sort of speaks to what's going on and what's going on here, and that is that the opportunity and the opportunity set that faces all of us and all of the companies that I've met today, it's just amazing to see. And you know, one of the things that that we are looking at is just how, you know, what the opportunity is to invest in private companies. You know, I've been CEO of Stifel for 22 years, and I cannot believe it took me 22 years to find my way to Startup Nation here. This is amazing, and we're hitching our wagon to you in Israel here. It's amazing.
So 22 years CEO, 19 years as chairman.
Yep.
What can you share with the audience as far as trends you're seeing and relevant for this audience here?
Well, I think the biggest thing that's going on is that when you look forward for the next 10 years, I don't think any of us in this room can truly imagine, even all the great companies we saw today, it's hard to imagine the amount of change that's going to occur. And with the change and the disruption, the amount of investment, frankly, the amount of money that can be made on the investment side. But the markets have changed, and that money is being made much earlier and much faster because of disruption and innovation. And so I think all of you in this room get it because you're here. You're here looking at these companies. You understand the frontier of making money here. And so I'm not sure that I can tell you as much as what you already don't know. I mean, I'm sorry, what you already know. And that is invest in some of these startups.
Alternatives.
Well, alternatives for sure. And you know, I think public markets used to be, when IPO occurred, you'd have great growth. You still do. Beyond Meat's a great example. But boy, there is a lot of investment growth happening in private companies and in alternatives. And we as a company, and the reason I'm here, is we want in the United States to be a firm that leads and is a leader in democratizing investing in private companies for the average investor. And that's what OurCrowd does. I met John in August in New York. I had met him 15 minutes, and I said, I'm in. We made that investment by October. Yeah. We were an investor in OurCrowd by October. And so that's something that we're excited about.
Firstly, it sounds that you're really in sync with Jay Clayton. I mean, from the SEC, we actually have a video pretty much along those lines, which I'd like to share with the audience.
If the growth opportunities have shifted, not all the way, but to a substantial extent into our private markets, and ordinary investors don't have access to them, right, that's not good. Okay, now, the question is, what do we do about it? One of the things I like in our public markets is Main Street investors, they invest right alongside the institutions with the same deal, virtually the same drag. They're all in it together. Can we replicate that in our private markets. Now, it's very difficult to do that on an individual basis. It's hard to give individuals direct access to our private markets. So one of the questions is, can we have some kind of fund structure where we ensure that ordinary investors are getting the same deal as the institutional investors?
Yeah, that tells you how good John Medville is that he gets the chairman of the SEC to do an ad for him. I mean, but look, I know Chairman Clayton, and I know that what he says is what he believes, and I think it's what OurCrowd is trying to do. The ordinary investor needs the opportunity to invest in the companies that I've saw today. And I didn't even get through, half of what's in that book. So I think that in the United States, Stifel wants to be a leader in allowing companies to invest. And again, this area, for me, I'm actually astounded. And again, we just opened an office here in the last couple of months, and when I see what's going on here. We're going to be successful with you. We're attaching we're going with you.
So talking about that, you announced our partnership on the 17th of October. We launched it in New York a month ago. You have 2,200 FAs, 1 million customers. What's the response been like?
The response has been amazing. I think that the other thing that we're doing, it used to take, just go back 10 years, if you wanted to invest in private companies, you needed an account of $50 million, $100 million. It wasn't, forget the accredited investor aspect, it was real money. And the only way that you could really invest was to have big money through big funds. So when we announced what we're doing with OurCrowd, the ability to invest, frankly, down to $10,000, has been phenomenal, and the amount of excitement that we're having for people that really want to, go to a cocktail party or go to a party and say, look, I'm investing in this cyber company or this fintech or this healthcare company that's going to change the world. That's important. Who the heck wants to invest in an ETF when you can invest in this?
Exactly. It's your first trip to Israel. First of all, what took you so long?
Well, it is my first trip to Israel. It won't be my last. I did learn a word, though, that I think explains my view of this place. I think you call it sababa.
Yes. So you're going to learn Hebrew?
Pardon?
Are you going to learn Hebrew?
I am. No, this is it is my first time. I'm actually, I don't feel very smart that it took me this long to get here, but I'm going to come back. But I'm not only going to come back for business. I'm going to bring my family back. This is a great place.
What are your key takeaways? I know you've only been here for a couple of days. We've tried to compress a lot into those days, but what are they?
Well, it's across, for me, it's been a very enlightening experience, not only in business, not only the ecosystem that you have here, being in Jerusalem and spending time in Tel Aviv. So the investment side, it's more than I expected, but the people side, we read a lot in the United States about what's going on here, but the perception of actually coming here and experiencing Startup Nation, but not only that, the culture and the people has really been enlightening, and the ability to actually take some time and go visit the places around here have been one of the greatest experiences of my life in 2 days.
Excellent. You've grown the company in your period as CEO from what, 100 million to 1.5 billion in revenues?
3.5 billion.
3.5.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I cut short that.
That's 35 times. But you know what? Stifel, I was amazed. Stifel was founded in 1890. But when you look at what we need to do to compete, what we need to do to embrace technology and the disruption in technology, look, companies better learn. They better learn and stay on top of this. Because that's again one of the things that I'm taking away from this is as comfortable as I feel about the success we've had at Stifel, and we have grown from 100 million to 3.5 billion. My favorite one is we've taken the market cap from 30 million to 4.5 billion. Wow. So that one I like. But we all need to embrace change.
So do you think you'll be investing in these technology companies as well?
I already have.
OurCrowd.
I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.